All right, guys, so we're going to get back to our regularly scheduled programming, okay, of talking about things that don't necessarily have to do with the midterms, but I think are still somewhat relevant to the midterms in the sense that you kind of get what you vote for. And this story right here is one of those examples that we're going to talk about here as we have some news on Brittney Griner, some actual terrible news for Brittney Griner that, again, is an example of you get what you vote for, okay? As I really don't believe that if Trump was in office, that this would be happening to Brittney Griner, because apparently she has been transferred to a Russian prison camp, okay? She is doing hard labor, which to me, again, is kind of crazy, okay? It's kind of crazy. So let's go ahead and read about this. WNBA star Brittney Griner has been moved to a Russian forced labor camp months after the basketball player was arrested in Russia for allegedly possessing cannabis oil. The development is the latest update after Griner's appeal of her 9-year sentence was denied by a Russian court last month. The White House released a statement early Wednesday morning condemning the move. Quote, "Every minute that Brittney Griner must endure wrongful detention in Russia is a minute too long," White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre said in the statement. You know, I wish they would stop saying wrongful detention, okay? Because there seems to be this theme going on in this country where if you are of a certain race and you don't have a penis, right? If you have a vagina or you happen to not like the penis or vagina that you were born with, you can't be held responsible for anything, okay? You can't be held responsible for anything. There's no such thing as failure for you. There's no such thing as accountability, okay? I mean, the mainstream liberal media was calling two-time loser Stacey Abrams Moses, right? They were comparing her to Moses, even though she lost. I'm glad she lost, but I'm just saying it does kind of irk me when people get praised for failing, okay? Regardless of whether or not I agree or I like the fact that they fail, I'm just saying the participation trophies got to stop, okay? We got to stop the participation trophy culture. But again, this right here, continuing to call this a wrongful detention, despite the fact that she broke the law, we know she broke the law, right? Again, it resolves Brittney Griner of responsibility and accountability. You know, I wish that they would speak like this about the other people who are not black and gay and female that have been detained by Russia as well, too. You know, I wish they would come out here and give as much attention to them as they give to Brittney Griner. But hey, you know, for whatever reason, she gets all the attention and it's not her fault. You know, it's all Russia's fault. It's Putin's fault. It's not her fault that she tried to smuggle illegal narcotics into a country that does not allow that. Again, it's kind of insane that they continue to try to say that she's wrongfully detained as if we can tell other countries how or if they should enforce their own laws. Again, it's absolutely insane. Quote, "As the administration continues to work tirelessly to secure her release, the president has directed the administration to prevail on her Russian captors to improve her treatment and the conditions she may be forced to endure in a penal colony," the statement continued. Yeah, so here we are trying to dictate her conditions and her treatment in another country, but not telling the truth about the fact that, hey, you know, she broke the law. This is what happens when you go to other countries and you break the law. No. Responsibility is not a thing for these people. The U.S. government is unwavering in its commitment to its work on behalf of Brittney and other Americans detained in Russia, including fellow wrongful detainee Paul Whelan, Karine Jean-Pierre concluded. Griner will face harsh conditions in the forced labor camp, and it will be difficult for her family to contact her or even know her exact location. Griner was visiting Russia to compete in the WNBA offseason in February when Russian authorities found cannabis oil in her luggage. She was promptly arrested for possessing the vape cartridges and was later sentenced to 9 years in prison. On Griner's 32nd birthday last month, her representatives released a statement thanking her supporters. Quote, "Thank you everyone for fighting so hard to get me home. All the support and love are definitely helping me," Griner said from prison, according to the statement. The U.S. government has engaged in prisoner swap talks with Russia, but there appears to be no significant progress. Putin's playbook author Rebecca Crawford told Fox News that tense relations over the Russia-Ukraine war have impacted the negotiations. Ding, 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 ding. I mean, that's essentially what the holdup is here. This is another case that demonstrates that Americans are not safe in Russia, especially Americans of Russian descent, and especially now when the relations between Moscow and Washington are at the lowest point in history, including the Cold War, the intelligence expert said last month. Yeah, so what is happening here is that you have these woke revolutionaries who, again, go out here and they vote for Joe Biden and the Democrats, right? Because of abortion. We got to keep our abortion rights, right? Unmarried women, okay, who apparently had an impact on this election. But at the same time, some of these same women, right, like Jamel Hill types, the Kerry champions, again, these strong, independent women, okay, they want to protect their rights. And they're also out here fighting for BG, okay, fighting for BG, free BG. When you come out here and you voted for the Biden administration and Democrats in the Senate, people like John Fetterman, okay, what you actually did was you voted to keep Brittney Griner locked up because Democrats are hell-bent on continuing to fund the Ukraine war. As long as we continue to fund that war and to support that war, Brittney Griner will be locked up, okay? I'm so serious because it is clear that she's being used as negotiating leverage by Russia in order to get favorable terms for them to get what they want out of that war. So again, as long as we continue to fund that war, Brittney Griner is going to stay locked up. It's really that simple. Republicans, if they won the Senate and the House, at least they were talking about, they were promising, a whole lot of them was coming out and saying, look, I'm not going to vote to continue funding this war. We need to try to make this come to a peaceful resolution. That is the best and fastest way to get Brittney Griner out of prison. But they voted against that, right? They voted against that. They came out here and voted against that when they vote Democrat. There's no doubt in my mind that if Trump was in office, this would be an issue. I don't think that the Ukraine thing would be an issue. I don't think Putin would have invaded Ukraine. And I damn sure don't think they'd be taking Americans hostage like that. We do know when Trump was in office that he played a role, at least he claims he did. I mean, the woke revolutionaries say otherwise because Trump can't get credit for anything, right? Because he's racist, according to them. He said that, hey, I helped ASAP Rocky when he was in some mess in Europe. I think he was in Sweden or something like that, and ASAP Rocky had got locked up. He said he helped LiAngelo Ball when he was shoplifting in China. I think that if Trump was in office, Brittney Griner wouldn't be in a Russian prison camp breaking big rocks into little rocks. But because these people come out here and they want to support Democrats, we have a weak man in office, right? This is what happens. These are the consequences. And they want to boo-hoo and cry about it, but then they turn around and they vote for the same thing because, again, Russia was on the ballot. Republicans said that, hey, we're going to reevaluate funding to Ukraine. Continuing to support that war is basically like supporting Brittney Griner staying in prison, doing hard labor. I'm just saying, elections have consequences. And unfortunately for Brittney Griner, you know, despite the fact that she did kneel for the national anthem, she did not seem to like America too much. You know, it seems like the woke revolutionaries essentially voted to keep her in prison, right? That's what it seems like to me. But hey, I'm just saying, I'm pretty sure that Brittney Griner is appreciating the rights and privileges that she did have in America now more than ever since she has been in Russia. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.